Hey y'all. I tried to look a little bit more festive today, but I could not find my red hat. And trust me, I need a hat today. And I could not find my red lipstick. So you're just getting regular old, not the Monday before Christmas look. I can't believe it. I think everybody probably feels the same way. It is almost Christmas. So today, hopefully when I'm posting this, it is Monday, December 21st, and this is a Monday book tag. Okay, so just like last week, I didn't spend too much time thinking about it, so I don't have the books to like hold up, but I'll try and go back and add in some picture-in-picture shots of things if there's anything that's not too well known, I guess. All right, so this is the Jingle Bell book tag because Friday is Christmas. So I found this book tag on a blog by Richard at the Humpo Show, and it looks like it was first done in 2016. All right, so it's basically prompts based on Christmas songs, and I like copied and pasted this, and the last few are actually duplicates of other ones, so I'm not sure that I got them all the questions, but we're just gonna breeze on through it anyway. I'm sure that Richard will forgive me. Sorry, Richard. Okay, the first one. All I Want for Christmas Is You. What book do you want to see under the Christmas tree? Okay, so the book that would be super awesome if somebody would buy me is Cemetery Boys, because I have wanted it for several months, and I've been into bookstores several times, and each time I go in there, somehow I leave without it. Like, there was one of the times I looked right at it, and then I think a sale or something distracted me, and when I went and got into the car with a bag of books, Cemetery Boys was not in it. So I'm obviously going to need an intervention because I really want to read that book. Second question. Simply having a wonderful Christmas time. Simply having a wonderful Christmas time. That's not how that song goes. That was terrible. What book that you have read this year have you enjoyed the most? What comes to mind with that question are recent reads. So you've already heard me talk about them over the last few weeks. One is Legend Born, which is about an African-American girl. I don't know why I called her that. A Black girl who goes to school in North Carolina. And I think she's on an early college program or something. So she's there on campus. She gets introduced to the secret society that she thinks may have had something to do with her mother's death several years before. There's magic and there's revealed powers and all those kinds of things. And there is an Arthur and Knights of the Round Table tie-in. So the Secret Society is based on early Arthur legend and their descendants. So they're legend born. I really had a lot of fun with that book. A recent read that I just finished today that I also really enjoyed was These Violent Delights. So that is theoretically a Romeo and Juliet retelling. The author really loves Romeo and Juliet, from what I understand. But I don't know, I think I've said this before, I don't know what accounts for a retelling or reimagining. It is a family blood feud trope story. But is that all it takes to be a Romeo and Juliet story? Is Romeo and Juliet the first time that the family blood feud thing was a thing? Because it doesn't seem like it would be, but maybe it was. Anyway, this is a family blood feud story. There are teenagers who knew each other and now they know each other again after a falling out, and they are thrown together because there is a common enemy in their town. They are each the heir of rival gangsters. It's set in 1926 Shanghai. So that was a lot of fun. I also loved Romeo and Juliet as a story in general. I love the enemies to lovers sort of trope, although this one was lovers to enemies to lovers, starting when they were 14 or 15. So Really enjoyed that one. And then a third one that comes to mind that I talked about in my tag last week was The Kiss Quotient by Helen Huang. So that one was a lot of fun. I won't talk about it again. You've heard of it. Read it if you haven't, especially if you like a little bit of steamy stuff. Third question. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Okay, I know this one. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go. Yeah. Okay. Which book has the most festive look to it? So for me, if we're talking about books that I've actually read, it would be In a Holidays. So the book discussion for that was this week. I just read it last week for book club. And it is about a woman who is given a second and third and fourth chance to make some good decisions to figure out what makes her happy in life. And it is a romance. It's a little bit Groundhog Day mixed with a Hallmark movie. Elf. What book unleashes your inner child? So the first book that comes to mind is The Dactyl Hill Squad by Daniel Jose Older. It was a lot of fun. It's about orphans of color in a segregated New York City during a time when dinosaurs have been domesticated. So rather than cows and other beasts of burden, they use dinosaurs. And Dactyl Hill is named because there are lots of pterodactyls flying around. So that was fun. And then Tristan Strong Punches a Hole in the Sky, I believe is the name of the first one. And I love that book. It's based on Black and African myth, legend, and fables. So I love that sort of stuff. That's definitely a pulls for the inner child kind of response. So I loved that book. I have not read the second one yet, although I have big, big plans to do so. That is part of the Rick Riordan Presents series, which I would also recommend for most people. The Grinch, your favorite villain. You're a mean one. Why do I keep doing that? I don't even know. Your favorite villain. I don't have a favorite villain. I love all villains. I love villains because they give us someone pitted against the protagonist, which I think always brings out what we need from the protagonist, and also gives us an opportunity often to see a different side to what it means to be villainous. In some stories, the best villains have no backstory. They're just mean or bad or terrible because they're mean, terrible, bad people. And sometimes we get a little bit more from them, and that's okay for the story too. And sometimes it's too much and we don't need that. So sometimes it goes too far. Like if you think about Snape, for example, we hate him, and then we find out his backstory. I'm like, oh, Snape, whatever. He's terrible. Anyway, I won't go there again. You've heard it before. Let's see. The Holiday. Is that a song? The Holiday? I don't know. But name your favorite two couples. This is a hard one because I don't really kind of OTP very much. But I would say the first book in the Talia Hibbert series with the sisters. Get a Clue? Something Brown? I really liked that one. And maybe part of it is because the lead protagonist is Black and the guy she falls in love with is a red-haired white guy. And I can relate to that. Also, I really liked him. I think his name was Red. Did they call him Red? Am I making that up? I don't know. The other favorite couple I will choose is Hermione and Victor Crumb. I will leave it there. What book would you like to give as a present to your followers? That's hard. I hope that I have lots of people with lots of ranges of interests, but I will choose for a local Rochester tie-in, Love Like Sky by Leslie Youngblood. So Leslie Youngblood lives local in Rochester, and so I've gotten the opportunity to see her read from this book and talk about this book and the experience of writing it a couple of times over the last couple of years. Multiple copies of this book, but it's a middle grade and about a black girl, and I love black girls on the cover. I have a little sister named Peaches, and a lot of stuff happens in this book, but I love that they're an intact, loving family. There's actually they're separated, I think, and each of the parents are repartnered, and those are good relationships and good relationships for the kids. And I think I just don't see enough of that, I think, as particularly in middle grade. So I really loved that about this book. Let me read the back. Love ain't like that. How is it then? Peaches asked, turning on her stomach to face me. It's like Sky. If you keep driving and driving, gas will run out, right? That's why we got to go to the gas station. Yep. But have you ever seen the sky run out, no matter how far we go? No, when we look up, there it is. Well, that's the kind of love Daddy and Mommy got for us, Peaches. Love like Sky. It never ends, never. So that is the book that I would give to my, just hand out to followers, because I think the representation is great. It's a local artist, a local writer, and I love the family story in this book. That was the Jingle Bell book tag from Richard at the Humpo Show in 2016. And this is I hope that I can appear more festive as the week goes on, but I'm not making any promises about that, because what would it be? I don't even know. Anyway, I will catch you on the next one.